Hey everyone, and welcome to the fourth week of the 87 Music Choir course. I'm really happy to have you here for this level. So far we've covered breath control and warm-up techniques for the first week. The second week we've talked about pitch accuracy, ear training, and range building. The third week we talked about tone quality, resonance, and vocal strength. And today, building on everything that we've learned so far, we are moving into articulation, diction, rhythm, and timing. Let's get started. Let's talk about what really separates a good choir from a truly great one. Now, this is going to be a masterclass on two pillars that every elite ensemble is built on: absolute clarity and unwavering precision. This right here, this is our foundation. This quote completely changes how we should think about singing together. See, we are not just making pretty sounds in the air. We are communicating something important. We're communicating a message, a story, an emotion. And look, if that meaning gets lost, the performance just doesn't work, no matter how beautiful it sounds. So how do we deliver that meaning? Well, it's all about a crucial partnership. Think of it like this. Tone is the vehicle for emotion. It's the warmth, the color, that feeling you get. But diction, on the other hand, diction is the vehicle for understanding. It's the actual words, the consonants, the vowels. Without clear diction, all the beautiful emotions get trapped inside a message. The audience just can't understand. Okay, so that brings us to our very first pillar, clarity. This is all about the art of turning raw sound into language that people can actually understand and connect with. Let's break down how we build it from the ground up. This is the one question you have to ask yourself seriously. Listen to your choir, or even just your own voice. Are the sounds sharp and defined, or are they kind of soft and blurry around the edges? The answer to that question is the absolute key to vocal clarity. Now, there is a technical term for this, and it's called articulation. What's crucial to understand is that articulation is a physical, almost mechanical skill. It's the actual muscle work that your tongue, lips, and jaw are doing to shape every single sound with real intention. And don't get articulation confused with diction. No, they are related but different. Articulation is the physical clarity. It's how you make the sound, like forming a clean ta sound. Diction, on the other hand, is the linguistic accuracy. It's what sound you are making. You're making sure that ta is the right sound for the word in that language. You absolutely need both, articulation and diction. But you can't have good diction without starting with clear articulation. So where does clarity usually fall apart? Well, it's almost always one of these culprits. You've got your lazy consonants that just get swallowed up. Delayed final consonants that makes everything sound laggy and sloppy. Inconsistent vowel shapes from singer to singer that just shatter the blend. And honestly, a lot of the time, it's just a tight, flexible jaw. You've got to realize most of these are not even musical problems. They are discipline problems. So how do we fix this with some targeted practices? You see, this first drill, the consonant pulse, is like taking your articulators, that is your tongue, your lips, to the gym by speaking these consonants cleanly and right on the beat. Ta, ka, da, pa, la. Again, ta, ka, da, pa, la. By doing this, you are training your articulators. Like I said earlier, your tongue, lips, and jaw. You are taking them to the gym and you are training them to be super responsive and agile. The key here is control. You want them sharp, but never harsh or explosive. Okay, so the next drill you need to work on targets one of the biggest clarity killers out there. Those messy, sloppy endings. By having everyone hold a vowel and then release that final consonant, like the D in Lord. Lord. God. You see, at times when singers are singing, they want to pronounce Lord, but they would go like Lord, God, it's very wrong. So you're trying to correct that sloppy and messy ending now by holding a vowel and then release that final consonant at the exact same microsecond. You learn to act like a single organism. I mean, your choir, you and your team, you act like a single organism. I promise you, this one thing instantly cleans up the rhythmic edge of every single phrase. And finally, the unified vowel. Now, this one looks simple, but wow, it is incredibly powerful. When every single singer in a section is consciously shaping their mouth to create the exact same vowel sound, something magical happens. The blend locks in, the overtone lines up, and the sound goes from being just a bunch of voices to one unified resonant instrument. Alright, so we've got our sound nice and clear, but what good are clear words if they are not delivered at exactly the right time? This brings us to our second pillar, precision, or you say timing. This is all about moving from just knowing the rhythm to executing it with absolute, rock-solid unity. Here is another one of those super important distinctions. Rhythm is the intellectual part, right? It's what you see written on the page. You can count it. You can understand it. But timing is the physical execution. It's the skill of placing that rhythm perfectly in the flow of time with everyone else. Knowing the rhythm does not guarantee good timing. And when timing is off, you hear it right away. Entries are hesitant. Long notes start to drag the tempo down. Those fast passages get all scrambled and rushed. And the cutoffs are just a mess instead of being clean and crisp. These are all just symptoms of the same core problem. And there it is. This is the root cause. Too often, singers become passive. They just listen, relying on the conductor or maybe the person next to them to keep them in time. But professional musicians are always active counters. They feel the main beat, for sure. But as importantly, they feel all the little subdivisions between the beats. They have the relentless internal clock that never ever drops. So the solution is to build that internal clock. Very simple. And the subdivision drill is foundational. It's where it all starts, by physical tapping and counting out loud. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you are feeling the space between the beats. You develop this unshakable awareness of the rhythmic grid. This is, without a doubt, the single best way to cure rushing. Now, the next drill for this pillar really puts that internal clock to the test. You sing a beat, then you go completely silent while you keep counting in your head, and then you have to come back in. For example, I love Jesus, he's my friend, I will never leave him, he's my friend. Then look at it this way now. I love Jesus. I will never leave him. Can you see how I nailed the re-entry with the accurate timing? Nailing that re-entry proves your internal timing is solid. It forces your brain to hold the tempo all by itself without any external help. And hey, just like we focused on those final consonants for clarity, we've got to focus on cutoffs for precision. A clean ending is one of the biggest hallmarks of a disciplined group. The goal is to stop the sound precisely on the beat, creating a sharp, unified silence that's every bit as important as the sound that came before it. So let's bring these two huge pillars together. On one side, you have clarity of sound. On the other hand, you have precision in time. When a choir truly masters both, they move beyond just singing notes. They become something much more powerful, an intentional choir. Absolutely nothing is left to chance. Vowel shapes aren't just approximated. Rhythms aren't felt out in the moment. Every single detail, from how crisp a consonant is to the exact placement of a 16th note, is a conscious, unified choice made by the entire group. And that is the key word right here. Decide. A professional choir doesn't just hope for a good sound. It decides exactly what that ah vowel is going to sound like. Is it going to sound as ah or ah or ha? A professional choir decides. It doesn't feel around the beat. It decides where beat 1 lives. This collective decision making This shared intention, that's what creates a truly electrifying performance. So I'll leave you with these questions. Think about your own group, your own choir. Are you performing by accident or by intention? Are you just hoping for clarity or are you actively drilling for it? Are you reacting to beat or are you creating it together? You see, making that shift from accidental to intentional, that's a real journey from good to truly great. Thank you for joining me for this masterclass, and you'll hear from me again next week. Bye for now.